Good afternoon and welcome back to the Manly 16ft Skiff Club as we roll into heats 4 and 5 of the 2025-26 Club Championship. It's an overcast day on Sydney Harbour and we're set for another round of high intensity skiff racing. If the opening heats were any indication, we're in for a fast, tight and thrilling afternoon on the water. I'm Jimmy Bury, and whether you're joining us from the clubhouse, following along from a sport boat or tuning in from anywhere around the world, it's great to have you with us. Alongside me are Andrew Dolly DeVola and Craig Nichols. Fantastic to have you both here. Gentlemen, what are you expecting from today's racing?
G'day Jimmy, g'day viewers, and welcome back Craig. We haven't seen you for a little while, but welcome back.
Thanks, Dol.
High intensity racing is not what I'm expecting right now, Jimmy. We're looking fairly light breeze right now. The breeze had completely shut down, but we do have a very light sort of east-southeast starting to filter in. Outgoing tide this afternoon and quite a bit of swell coming in the head. So without that outgoing tide and the swell coming in, it's pretty lumpy out here and light breeze right now. So what are you seeing, Craig? Not a lot.
Not a lot to be impressed with, to be quite honest. It looks it's very, very bumpy with this outgoing tide. And, there's a fair bit of swell running as well. It's going to, unless the breeze kicks in a couple more nights, it's going to be a very uncomfortable afternoon, I think.
Very tricky. I'm expecting it to be quite shifty too. So looking at the obs from around Sydney, we're seeing weather stations with everything from southeast to even northeast down at the airport. So I'd expect sailors to be looking up, seeing what this cloud's doing. But right now we're in a bit of a holding pattern while our starter, who I believe is Sean Lilly today, with Mark Bromelo, it looks like, on the boat. So they haven't anchored, they haven't dropped any marks yet. So we're just standing by to see what this breeze is going to do, and hopefully it fills in a little bit. We can get a course laid and get some racing done.
Well, they were saying, just on the last message to the group, Dole, they were saying 6 to 7 knots. So, and they're telling the boats to start making your way now.
Okay, so they did have the boats on hold back at the beach. They've instructed them to come out now a little bit, just where we are now, a little bit of breeze starting to fill in from the east, it looks like. So fingers crossed we can get a course laid reasonably quickly and a line in, and we can get some racing done. But fairly clear patch of water where we are right now with not too much traffic. The Balmoral fleet's further inside Middle Harbour from where we are, and the Middle Harbour fleet hasn't come out yet, the Middle Harbour 16s fleet. So right now we've got the Manly Juniors competing for their state championship out of Manly Skiff Club. They're down in North Harbour, but up there they don't look like they've got very much breeze at all. So hopefully this breeze fills into them as well and they can finish their racing off for the day before the 16s get started.
Interesting to see the starters boats heading down for traditionally what would be either a nor'east or probably just compass bearing. He's going to have to go with at the moment, I'd say. What do you reckon?
Yeah, probably compass bearing sort of east. That way they can cover their bases a bit too, Ed, rather than setting a standard sort of course. And we are doing 2 races today, folks. So two shorter races, and the full length course doesn't lend itself as well to the shorter racing. So more than likely we'll do a compass bearing course, and that way they can just shift that top mark around a bit if they need to and keep it fairly simple. We have got a number of boat changes and crew changes today that I'll sort of run through the major ones. Altus Consulting has Felix Devario stepping in. Avlinia Aircraft Management, so they've got a great change. They've got Abby Rolfe, who's a young 13 sailor, female 13 sailor, stepping into skipper today, and Chris Wyatt stepping into crew on there as well. One of the big changes we're seeing today is Joel Beechel is sailing in the Harker Match Racing Championships up at Pittwater, and we're seeing Lee Napton stepping
Okay.
in on the Imey today as helm. So great to see Lee, multiple Australian champion in the skiffs, coming back. And I think part of the reason Lee might be up at Manly today is, I believe, his daughter is sailing in the juniors, in the Manly juniors, which is great. So another generation of Naptons coming through. Red Concrete has George Thompson stepping in for Sam Skeen. George making a few more appearances this season after a year away travelling. Shebang has Dave Grouter and Christian Stevens sailing with Ant King. So that's the 16 changes. Quite a few changes in the 13s, notably Taylor Springett after a bit of a hiatus travelling as well. Back sailing on the Ebix today. We've got Botany Scaffold, Cooper Lowe sailing with Levi Windust. Bit of a skiff legend from Manly, Claire Hozak, coming back and having a sail on the Fluid Building 13 today. I'm sure Tilly King, Ant's daughter, will learn a lot from sailing with Claire today. And that's about it for the changes, I think. That sums it up pretty much. So we'll keep abreast of those changes once we're sailing. But real interesting one having Lee Napton back on the Imey, isn't it, Craig?
Oh, it's great to see him out sailing again.
Yeah.
He was trying to talk it down this morning, Dole, when we ran into him over at the MJs. Chits and I ducked over to the MJs earlier today just to give them a bit of coverage. We're talking to Leroy, and he said, a bit rusty, I don't know if I've still got it. I'm like, yeah, right. We've all heard that one a million times before from Leroy.
Playing it down, and just happens to be stepping onto the current Australian champion boat with Rob and Trent. So he certainly chose his
battles.
Picked a good one to come back, that's for sure.
And he loves this stuff, sailing in this stuff.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Very good.
X470 campaigner. He knows how to pick a shift or two.
Taught him everything he knows from the Flying 11s, Dole.
That's it, Jimmy.
When I sailed with him.
Yeah, you did indeed. Back before the war. But, it's going to be great to see him back out here. And just trying to see if we've got... I can't even see any boats leaving the beach yet. So
no, they've just sent a message out, Dole, so that AP flag that's flying, they're just going to hold the fleet under AP until everyone, give them a good chance to get out here.
Yeah.
It's the comms coming from the start boat, as always, awesome. So, good to see.
So we're going to have to chat for a while here. But, Craig, you were tossing up, sailing the Typhoon today for the club championship, but you saw the weather forecast?
I was considering having a sail today, and I did look at the long-range forecast on Tuesday, and even though the wind looked okay, it had 80% chance of rain, and I went, nah, that's too hard. I'll let the young blokes
get wet
take
if you
it
go
out.
sailing, Craig.
Exactly.
Is that the problem?
Yeah. And it looked like it might have been a good call, but you never know. This breeze might it's starting to fill in a little bit, so...
Certainly looking a lot more promising than it did before. That's Matana, the start boat, on screen there. You can see them flying the red and white AP pennant. So just going to fly that until one, we decide what course we're going to do, and two, we've got some competitors out here. But they have been told to leave the beach, we believe. It's going to take them a little while to get launched and out here, so we might be in for a bit of an afternoon.
Well, after 3 heats already been sailed, Dole, should we have a look at the leaderboard so far and see if there's any real disappointments? So there's the 16s and the 13s. So, Dole, take it away.
Yeah, a few, not really surprises, but there's a few that aren't in that top 10, which surprises me a bit. But Buckingham Marine Services on the top of the 16 leaderboard, but won quite a few club championships in the past. Geochemical assessment, they've hit the season running well. Certainly got good pace, and they're new-ish to the class. It's not their first season. They've been around for a little bit, but certainly stepped up in second place. And Modern Concept Construction, last season's club champions, I believe, weren't they?
Yes, they were.
So they're currently in third. Points are fairly tight, but Buckingham Marine with a bit of a jump with 8 points compared to 15. Nathan Wilmot's Imagine Signage in fourth, IME, then Fluid, Bartley Construction, Botany Access, Sutec Building and Canberra Airport. Now, the big surprise to me there, after having a strong start to the season, is neither of the Red Pumps boats are in that top 10. So they've obviously been a little bit unlucky in the first couple of heats of the clubbing. But those two boats certainly are on the pace this season. Zoe Dransfield in Red Pumps Red certainly hit the ground running and has been going very quick. Then we look at the 13-footers and not unexpected, Heidi Bates and Orlando Sadlick in the Harkin, top of the leaderboard. From Buckingham Marine, Ash and Theo also been sailing very well. Buck and Simple, Lockie Jansen, Botany Access, IME, The Kitchen Maker, Bigfoot Bags and Covers, Red Pumps, Imagine Signage and Texco. So, the fair bit of cream has risen to the top there, but we're still a long way to go in this season. Although it's really surprising how quickly this first couple of months has flown by, and we're only about a month and a bit. We'll be competing the national championships. So, these guys haven't got a lot more time to find their legs, do they?
No. Well, the one that is taking advantage of every afternoon is the 13-foot skiff Buckingham Marine, Ash and Theo. They've been out training quite rigorously after school. So, they're not wanting to leave anything on the table. I was sort of stood there and watched with a bit of excitement the other day when they were out training. It was a nice little sou'easter, and they went for quite a fair work up towards like where we sort of are now out in the Sound, and ran back into Manly, and they were literally jibe, like 500 jibes sort of thing, and every jibe looked really good. So
yeah,
it's the small things, as you guys know, that makes a big difference when it comes to the big dance come January.
Craig knows the value of training hard, don't you, Craig?
Used to.
Now you spend most of your time in the gym.
That's it.
But Theo won the national titles as a skipper, and then rapidly became about 6'2" tall. So he's switched over. Ash is on the helm, steering for him now. They've been sailing exceptionally well, but the competition that they've been getting from Heidi and Orlando in the Harkin have been, they've also been doing a fair bit of sailing, and not just in the 13, sailing all different kinds of boats. Even doing a bit of dabbling in the 16s now, Jimmy, in the old fire stopping. I saw them were out in it the other week. So
yeah, we've gifted them the boat for the foreseeable future, just to, when the time's right, they can jump in that. And it's all about giving these young ones a go. Like if we don't want to lose them elsewhere, and if we can do something simple like gift them a boat for a bit of a season, that'll keep them interested. That's where we're more than happy to do that. So it's they're good young kids. All of the kids in the 13s are amazing, and that's where a lot of today's top skippers have all come from. Like I know Craig was back around when the implementation of the 13s was rolled out, and Craig was the driving force behind chasing sponsors to get more boats on the water for the kids, to keep the kids coming through. So it's a long process, but sort of watching the Manly juniors this morning too, Dale, it sort of went we'll be seeing them in the 13s not too long, so it's good, you know.
Yeah, and a great opportunity that you've given those young guys, giving them a boat. You know, a lot of us didn't have that sort of opportunity for us when we were back in our late teens, or Heidi's only, I think, 16. An exceptional sailor for her age. So, but yeah, wouldn't we have loved to have been gifted a nice gift to sail when we were that age? So great opportunity, but more importantly, you know, they really put in the hard work. So I think, you know, part of the culture that they've come through at Manly, all these young sailors who are either going to step up or have stepped up, you know, the culture that we've sort of encouraged over the years is that, you know, if you train hard and put in the effort, the rewards will come. And yeah, certainly from what I can see in the 13s, the kids who've come through in the last couple of years, you know, some of them are very young to have stepped out of a flying 11. Some of them still sailing flying 11s. The flying 11 is a perfect pathway boat to step up into the more senior classes, being a crewed boat with 3 sails. Gives the kids great preparation to step up into the more senior classes, rather than a lot of juniors are coming through a single-handed, single-sail pathway when they do have to step up into a 29 or a 13, or even if they go into the match racing path, they haven't experienced that sailing with other people and sailing with 3 sails. So it's a real credit to Manly what they've done to set up that pathway.
And just for the viewers, if they're tuning in right now, being 2:30 scheduled start time, we are under postponement. The breeze shut down out here on the Sound, where we're hoping to get heats 4 and 5 underway of the club championship for the Manly 16-foot Skiff Club. The breeze is slowly filling in. You can see boats on screen there just slowly making their way out to the start area. The start boat has them under holding AP or postponement flag till the majority of boats get out here. So stay with us, viewers. We hopefully will get some sailing away shortly.
Looks like maybe geochemical assessments, and not sure who Shebang is it?
And Canberra Airport and Altus.
Yeah. Shebang were on the edge of the dock, so they've got to be one of the first boats to launch.
Yep. Just going back to your comments on the 13s, like yes, the Harkin and the what's the other one? The Buckingham Marine. They've been going out like 3 afternoons a week, basically. And then last Saturday, during the state titles, I think those guys were never more... The footage that I saw, like what you guys actually were filming, there was never more than 15 seconds between them the whole race, was it? And they were just swapping backwards and forwards, leading.
Like a string between them, and I think...
Yeah.
Well, Ash, on Buckingham, they had it all... Yeah, the victory speech was penciled in on the paper, and on the last jibe they put it in the tide, and that probably explains why they went out and did 1,000 jibes. Went out and did 1,000 jibes. You know, there's always that old adage, wasn't it, that you buggered up the week before you went out and practice the hell out of it to get it out of your system.
But also there was one shot of them both side by side going upwind, and just both the sheet hands trimming it absolutely perfect. Both boats absolutely dead flat, even just rolling in a tiny bit to windward, which is even quicker. Yeah, like they were just like, I don't know, synchronised skaters, it looked like.
No, their success comes from the effort they put in, Craig.
And 100%.
You've seen it as much as I have of them going out, and it's no secret to the reason why they're at the top of that championship at this present moment.
Well, it's like any team sport. Look, if you play rugby league, rugby union, you just can't turn up on the Saturday and think you're going to win. Might help if you do a couple of afternoons practice with your team, working out your moves.
Bit like the old Skiffies rugby training days, from what I hear. You blokes trained the house down, didn't you?
Oh, we actually did, actually.
Yeah, surprisingly.
Yeah.
We're pretty fit back in those days.
Oh, we had that.
How times have changed. don't miss getting the crap beaten out of me, I've got to say.
No.
So, good times, that's for sure.
The 16s are 3 legs. 13's 2.
3 and 2.
105.
And that's not the time, Craig.
No,
I know that.
That's the direction.
So
Yeah, the L3 for the 16s means it's a leeward finish, so third time downwind they finish, and the L2 means leeward 2 for the 13-foot skiff, so they just do 2 laps. So off the breeze finish, which is always nice and exciting, especially in this seaway if they get some of those big rollers that come around, Craig.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just trying to work out where that top mark is. Should be sort of underneath the lighthouse, I reckon.
remember how to use a compass, mate.
It's coming round.
It's like, to me, like to be almost smack bang in the middle of the heads.
Well, I did get a message from the start boat asking, do you know if there's any shipping movements? And I sent them the how to check. Roughly there.
Yep. Well, halfway between your call and my call, Doll.
Yeah, about where that fishing boat is.
About where the top mark boat is.
Yeah.
That's where I reckon it is.
Better eyes than me, Jimmy.
I eat my carrots, Dolly.
The boats that are coming out from Manly, most of them are heading out. Rather than coming down to the start area, they're sailing across, have a bit of a sniff around between the heads and see what the breeze is doing. One you're looking at there now, they've decided to put the kite up and come straight down towards the starting area, just in case.
Looks like they're starting to get...
A little bit of breeze.
I
Tiny
think
bit of
that's
breeze.
Altus Consulting there.
Yep. Philip Cook. The boats between the heads look like they've got, you know, probably 5-6 knots at the moment. So that's better than what we were seeing half an hour, 45 minutes ago. At which point there was nothing. But hopefully this holds. Bit of cloud rolling in from offshore is promising.
As long as it doesn't rain and kill the breeze.
We were talking about Buckingham 13 before. That's them in the middle of the shot. That's the boat. They've been out training quite a bit, as of quite a few of the others. You often see the Hark and the Little Imey in particular out training a lot during the week. I'm not down around so much to see them out there.
Well, you're away this week, Dolly. You are normally down and around.
You two boys are always down taking care of Skiff Club business. You see them out training.
Just making sure they're training properly.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Words of wisdom.
Giving you a few tips.
That's it.
Yeah.
Who's that coming towards us?
I reckon the shebang.
Shebang, I think.
Be my guess. A white boat with a white spinnaker.
I think you might be right.
There you go.
There
There
you
you go. That's the logo.
Not a bad job.
They got some new spinnakers. How long have they had white?
They got them off Phil.
Okay.
Imagine how that went down.
No comment. Yeah, always used to picking them out with their bright yellow.
Yeah.
Made them easy to spot.
So who's on that today? Dave Gruder and Christian St Evans. Is that right?
Stevens. Christian Stevens.
Stevens.
So, folks, I think we'll be probably about 20 minutes thereabouts until we hopefully get some signals. As I said earlier, we are under postponement due to the breeze shutting down. The course boat has laid, I believe, the top mark, and the start boat is at anchor, and so is the pin boat. So we're all ready to go, just waiting on all the boats that were told to stay ashore to come out onto the race course now. So stay with us, folks. Go get a refreshment. Go grab a cup of tea, whatever your
put the
case
kettle
may
on.
be, and we should be, as I said, underway in, I reckon, 20 minutes thereabouts. And Craig, you're departing Australia this Wednesday, off to the King's Cup, try and win that thing back again?
That's the plan, Jimmy. It starts measurements day Saturday, and then practice race is Sunday, and then we have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I think Thursday's a lay day or spare day. Friday, Saturday. So looking forward to going up there and racing the yacht for something different.
And is the Queen of Thailand going to grace the regatta with her presence? Is it?
We're not really sure. We think she is, and it's a pretty big thing for the Thai people if the King and the Queen turn up at the King's Cup. But the actual King's mother passed away, I think, about 6 weeks ago. So they've sort of been in mourning or whatever they do for the last 6 weeks. I did get told that she might not be there, but then I had some correspondence during the week saying that she will be there. So it'll be interesting to see if she turns up there or not. But it's definitely full on when the King and the Queen turn up.
The pictures that came out from last year or the year before? You couldn't even see Carter Beach where they hosted from. There was that many of the locals on the beach.
There was. They all come out they're in awe of them. It's quite unbelievable. And the way the Navy, just for a lady to go out sailing, she sails on one of the TP-52s, which is one of the quick yachts. And they have, the whole Navy follows her around, and they've got security and scuba divers. It's quite amazing.
Yeah, it was much like when looking after Prince Frederick in the Far 40 program. We had his personal security detail on ribs and medical staff and everything. So yeah, it's a big thing when someone of stature decides to go do something.
Well, it just gets you thinking, at King's Cup, the actual regatta's held out at the King's Beyond Resort, and I think it was last year or the year before. They actually took over the whole second floor, which is about 60 rooms, and had a makeshift hospital, had nurses and doctors there.
Oh, that was the year you got upgraded because you got caught up in the...
Exactly, yeah.
Knowing how to rort the system, book cheap, get upgraded.
Yeah. And hope the King and Queen turns up and they turn you into you get a pool access room instead of a room looking over over the rubbish bins out the back.
Perfect.
The Queen would have been excited to hear that you were coming back this year.
I'm sure she was.
Yeah.
So hopefully she does turn up because it gives a lot more attention to the sailing up there as well.
For sure. Yeah. How many boats do they normally get?
Including the centreboard classes, they get nearly about 70 or 80.
Yep.
But in its heyday, pre-COVID, with the oppies and everything else like that, used to get 130.
Wow.
But then post-COVID, I think the first year we didn't have any centreboarders, and I think, if I remember right, there was only 19 boats. So they've been trying to build it up ever since, which is
Was that the year you won?
No. No, we won quite successfully up there against some very good competition.
We did.
Was that in the old boat or the new boat?
In the old boat, in the old quarry.
When was that, 2019?
I know, you got the trophy sitting on your desk at home.
Okay.
So there's a Canberra Airport team. They had quite a reasonable start to their state title campaign.
Go pretty good in the lighter stuff too, and it looks like Max Paul's back this week on the sheet from what I can see. So in these conditions, I don't want to put the mocker on him, but I'd expect to see good things from them this week. The other one I'd expect to go well in this breeze we've seen going very quick in the downrange stuff has been Zoe Dransfield in Red Pumps Red.
She got her same crew today?
I believe so, yeah. Yeah, so Hugh and Jamie Stoddart be on board for the club championship. I didn't get to do a boat part walk today. We came around a little bit later, but did see a few of the boats in on the rigging deck, but didn't get around to the park. So, geochemical assessments. So currently second overall in the club championship. Another boat that tends to go pretty well in the lighter stuff. There's Heidi Bates and Orlando Sadlick, our 16ft Skiff current point score leaders in Harkin. Also with support from Musto. So obviously club champs have elected to sail the 13 this week. They might we might see them in a couple of point score races back in the 16-footer in the mighty fire stopping.
Yeah, well, the whole deal with them, Dole, is just absolutely no pressure, and if they want to do the 13, go for it. If they find a big enough lump that's willing to jump in with those two and get them around the course, and so they're more than welcome to take the fire stopping out.
Well, Sail Media don't cover the racing every Saturday, Jimmy, and the sponsors are
Busy elsewhere.
fairly
Dole.
accomplished skiff sailor, mate. Maybe you could go and show them give them a few pointers.
Yeah,
Dole,
jump back on the sheet.
It's been 9 years since I pulled a trap jacket on, and I've got no intention of pulling one on anytime soon. Actually, I don't even know where my trap jacket is.
We'll find you one.
I don't think you'll find one big enough, mate.
Imagine signage there, Nathan Wilmot. Small spike in the breeze, Craig?
Yes,
Couple of
definitely
knots?
picked up.
Yeah.
I think you're probably getting up to 10, maybe 12.
Oh, that's optimistic, I think.
Look
mate.
at the typhoon going up, but you can't see it. It's off screen,
Yeah.
but they're fully leaning.
Yeah, pretty big crew on there too.
Yeah.
So, Lockie Pryor has told me I've got to stop calling him Big Lockie. He's getting a complex.
Mind you saying that's a bit soft down the other end of the line now.
It's modern concept constructions. Also in the top three, the overall point score at the moment. And the little modern concept constructions in the foreground. Chris
Just have a
Williams.
horn before.
Yeah, put the horn up just to notify, so you'll notice the yellow flag went up, which is the compass bearing, and they tend to put that flag up sort of 5 minutes before we go into sequence, just to let people know that, hey, we're here, we're on station.
Fair enough.
Something Hugh Lester's sort of implementing into the starters in guiding them on how to communicate better with the sailors on that front. So it's sort of gets your attention, basically, that something's going to happen. So if you look at your watch after that hooter went a little while back, Craig, it'll be about 5 minutes until we go to signals.
I don't think it ever went down. We're just talking about the answering pennant, which is the postponement flag that's flying on the starters boat at the moment.
Sutek just going out of shot there, Michael Kerner and
Botany access there.
Chris
on the screen.
Thomas. Chris Thomas in Botany Access.
It's actually Jared.
Oh, Jared's on today, is he?
Today, yes.
Okay.
Jared was on the start boat for the Manly Juniors, so has he been swapped out?
He must have been.
Okay.
There you go.
Jared Smith goes pretty good in this light shifty stuff too, normally.
He-
Definitely looks more like Jared than Chris.
yes.
Yeah.
With Ryan and Michael, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, Ryan Thomas and Michael Childs, our club commodore.
Number 58. 58. Is that red pumps? 13?
Yeah, yeah. So it's Harvey Windust on the red pumps 13.
There's the post payment down, so 1 minute from now we'll start seeing some race signals.
AP down, fantastic.
It's not too much of a delay in the grand scheme of it, about 21 minutes, so 25 minutes, which is pretty good.
Long enough for the listeners to have to listen to us dribble on.
Exactly.
I'll give them something.
Do the seagull count?
I wasn't joking last night when I left the gym with you, Craig, and said you may have to bring the counter for the seagull count.
Very close.
It's the IME 13 with Sophie Hart filling in today on the helm.
And that's the aristocrat there.
I mean, they're racing.
Middle Harbour. Seeing Jimmy's their sponsor, you better get out of their way, I guess. There they are, the mighty Sail Media 13-foot skiff out of Middle Harbour.
Is that their top mark, the orange mark there? No.
No, of course they're tacking. Oh. The Buck and Simple. Young Tom Cameron on the helm. Stepped up this year from the 13-foot skiffs. He's with Tim Lees and Pete Jansen, so a couple of older, wiser heads trying to teach Tommy the ropes of the bigger boat. Still a few boats to soak down below the line. 3.5 minutes to go. Just in the distance you can see the Queens of Buckingham just approaching the start boat there now. So that's our all-female 16-foot skiff team. The first ever.
Minutes.
Yeah, and those boats look like they're just shaping up to get back behind the boat end. But
which end are you starting at, Dolly?
Well, that's what I was just wondering, because it looks pinned high to me. Outgoing tide as well. Only a little pin high maybe, because I imagine we were just looking at just then quite high on starboard tack, so probably an evenish line. Really just depends if you want the right or the left, doesn't it, Craig?
I'm thinking maybe boat end.
Boat end and get some clear air to get out to the right a little.
I just think there's a bit more wind on the right than there is on the left.
Yeah, I'd tend to agree, I think. Two minutes. It looks like the majority of boats are shaping up at the boat end. Looks like it's going to get pretty busy up towards the boat. That's the overhead shot from down towards the pin end.
That's not the pin, the blue
No,
mark.
the
The blue
blue
mark,
boats.
we're looking for an orange flag for the pin.
The
Just get the crane to
inflatable.
push out a little bit. Get Vincenzo to come out a little bit.
He's in line with it anyway, so it's pretty close.
Yeah. It'll be the rib with the flag is the pin end. 1 minute to go now. I think a few boats might get shut out at the boat end here. They're pretty high and there's not too many gaps opening up. Quite a few boats up on the line fairly early, including Imey, Botany.
There's no one down the pin.
Yeah, Aristocrat, the most lured boat at the moment. Imey getting very advanced with this tide, pushing them up. We're not in line with the line, but I would imagine they're just coming away now to duck back. We got 19 seconds. They're going to be pushing their luck here. Hard to judge from where we are, Craig, but I think this will be a general.
I'm going a general from here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're all over. Still hasn't gone yet. There you go. Probably be easy to count the ones behind the line, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
There's about 3.
Alta, Sutek and Nozomi.
That's it.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Everyone else was over.
So, yeah, tide, they were in quite early, tide pushing them up, quite a bit of tide running too, so...
I think the pin end needs to come to windward about another 80 metres.
Well, that might be a bit much, but yeah. But certainly the tide played a big part in that. And once a couple start to move forward, everyone goes with them.
Do you think you'll go straight to the behave yourself flag?
I think so. We're already running behind schedule.
I would if I was the starter.
Yeah.
So we're just discussing whether the starter will actually go for the black flag, and Dolly, you can explain what that means.
So black flag, if you're over in the final minute, you're disqualified. He could go for a U flag, which is a little bit softer, but...
I think being 3 o'clock, I think he'd go straight black.
Yeah.
Still got the 13s to get away, and then you've got another second race for the 16.
We've got 2 races to do as well. So technically 4 races with the 2 fleets running. We don't want to be out here in the dark, do we? Breeze looks to me like it's clocked a little bit round to the right, which also brings what you were saying about the pin end into play, Craig. Doesn't look like they're moving the pin end right now, though. But if they do put that black flag up, that'll make them behave pretty quickly.
Well, throughout the year, they've done like a black flag for...
Sorry, what was that?
Throughout the year, they've always done a black flag for any general recall.
Right. This breeze has just started to lift off again here, Dolly, hasn't it? It's gone a little bit softer.
Flocked to the right a little bit and dropped out, so...
I think he's...
It was the boys on the Bartley that just were on shot just before. We're sort of expecting bigger things from them throughout the year. This is, I think, 2nd or 3rd year together, and they have moments of brilliance. They've just got to somehow capture all those moments of brilliance and put them together.
Not doing too badly in the point score, though.
No, they're not, but
Good to
I know they've got a lot higher hopes for themselves than what they're pulling off at the moment. So.
Looks like a bit of rain to the north of us at the moment too. Is that a bit of light rain up in Manly, do you think? Looks like it.
I think so.
Yeah.
But it's definitely gone soft here.
Yeah, well,
on the start.
that rain's just sucking the life out of it, I think.
That's what I was talking about earlier.
Yeah. Not what we wanted to see.
No, not at all. I think the breeze has gone a bit more right too.
Yeah.
Can't see the pin moving.
It hasn't, no. So, and with the shift in the breeze, it's going to be even more boat favoured, but we need to get them away. Canberra Airport. Just having a sniff around the windward end of the line here. And you can just see by the body language on the boats that the breeze has softened. Crew are all standing up or sitting down. No real urgency to keep the boat under control. They're doing that really easily. It's probably down around 5 knots or less now.
5 knots is a bit generous just at the moment.
Do you think we will get the both races in today, Craig?
I'd like to think so. Just looking up the course, it looks like there's another line sort of heading towards us. So it might fill back in again.
Yeah, Middle Harbour Fleet look like they've got a bit of breeze. So hopefully that rain will pass to the north of us and the breeze will build a little bit again. So we're just coming up to 4 minutes now.
Let's see what flag
At which
goes
point
up.
in time, we'll see what flag goes up, and it's a black one.
Black one. Uh-huh.
Well, that's a long, long wait if you're over, isn't it, Craig? To be sitting
Very
out
long
here.
wait. Swallowing the pill the size of a football, because you've got to hang out here for the second race.
Well, the other thing too, Craig, is they don't notify them on track. Like, like go back to early-ish sort of 2000s at nationals and so forth. Like if we did have a black flag, you got to that top mark.
They told you.
And you seen your recall number on that board, you were absolutely gutted, weren't you? So.
Well, I still do think they should do that. That's my personal opinion. But I was talking to...
They have these things called sailing meetings on Saturday before the sailing,
no,
Craig. If you go along there, you can
could
voice
bring
your
that,
opinion.
you could bring that up.
No, we were talking about it the other night. Who was I talking to about it? Said you might as well take a handheld VHF with you and just put it in your spinnaker bag. At least you can hear the calls.
Yeah.
Doesn't weigh anything. It's waterproof. Like when you're racing the yachts, they notify you. They tell you.
Everything's on the radio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, some starters, I've been at some regattas in the yachts where they actually call the boats individually and say you're getting close to the line.
Yeah.
They don't want to be there banging off races all afternoon, especially if they've got 8 divisions to get through.
It's past 2.5 minutes. Very light on the start line right now. Very light. So we're
Very vacant on the start line, as you can see in this camera shot there on screen at the moment.
But yeah, certainly very light where, well, there's a good shot. You can see
Yeah.
it's looking pretty glassy. So to windward of us at the moment, there is some breeze filling in. So I expect after they start, they will move into a little bit more pressure. But right now on the start line itself, very light conditions.
Not wrong. Have a look at it there.
Looks very sick, doesn't it?
So breeze has clocked around a little bit to the southeast and really dropped. So you can see in the overhead shot there,
A couple of these guys are...
getting pretty eager again, aren't they?
Exactly.
Minute and a half to
Yeah,
go.
Run out tide.
And light air, you get fairly limited in your control of the boat to get the depth.
They've got 20 seconds to get round an end if they want to go round an end. I don't know where Bartley's going to. Sorry, he's not on screen. Viewers, he's just... oh, there he goes.
But even those boats that are on screen, Craig, like, the tide's just pushing them up. Like, I've got us engaged in reverse here on the camera, Cat, just trying to hold us somewhat near the line so we get a bit of a sticky beak, but...
At this particular stage, I would be favouring the leeward end.
Is that because Lee's down there on Imey, Barnum still?
There's no one else down there.
All to
40
yourself.
seconds.
Yeah, I've got to agree where Imey is right now. They're looking in a good position and not under pressure from anyone. there's a bit of chaos at the boat end.
Bit of carnage here with your boat, Craig, the Typhoon.
Yep, and the red pumps, and the other red pumps.
7 seconds. Imey at the leeward end. There you can see them. There they are now. Great start with speed. It's also down there, Phil Cook in Altus, looking pretty good. He's in a nice position. Windward end of the line, looking good. Zoe Dransfield and Tyler Dransfield in the 2 red pumps boats, and also Modern Concept Constructions. So,
Imagine Signs, Nathan Wilmot, he's looking pretty good in the middle of the line there, along with Bartley Constructions looking pretty good there as well.
So yeah, there's red pumps red left of screen there. They've been sailing very well of late, and these conditions have been to their liking. So we'll see how they fare, but once again you can see there Imey stepping out quite nicely.
And those spinnakers, for the viewers at home that can see on screen, that's the Middle Harbour 16-foot fleet heading back down to their bottom mark. So just don't read too much into that for today.
So we've got a bit of a split here. It's sort of half have gone left and half have gone back to the right. At the moment, the left seems to have a bit more pressure than the right-hand side.
Yeah, certainly breeze here on the left at the moment, and Imey should get to that pressure first. It's whether they can get back across and cross the other boats. Botany Access has done well. So they're the second boat up from the bottom you were just looking at.
But at the moment, Imey's definitely the one that looks like he's cleared out. Definitely got some wheels on, he's got some pace.
It's not a bad combination on paper, Craig, of crude. Like, what does Lee bring to the...
7 nationals, I think.
7 or 8 to Rob's 4 or 5, Trent's 3.
Yeah, no shortage of talent there.
And I think they're going to the corner.
Well, I think Lee's probably looked up, Craig, and seen where the top mark is, and might be a one tacking in almost, like if he has breeze all the way to this corner.
Yeah, they've been lifting up here too, so not something that they really want to tack off on, so I think they're just keeping pushing up until hopefully when they get closer to Flagstaff and the breeze starts to bend around the headland. Big cliff face there at North Head, the breeze runs down. So at some point they should get a header and they should be able to tack on that onto a lift. The lift won't take them all the way over to the top mark, but it'll at least last while they're in the proximity of North Head.
They must be getting close to attack now.
Yeah, well, look at the boats there on screen inside them, Craig, how much more lifted they are.
Yep.
So, you know, the boats that have gone south, if they've got that same breeze down there, big advantage.
Yeah, the boats out on the right there, they could tack onto a big lift. You're right, Jimmy.
I do think the Imey's just got a bit of a lift there.
Yeah, but they don't want it right now. They want a header.
Not where you want it.
They're holding on for a header.
They've got Terra Firma coming up. They're going to have to tack soon. There they go.
Yeah, and I'm not sure. I don't think they're going to cross Botany Access, and they may not even cross Altus. I think they'll cross Altus, but it's going to be very close with Botany Access.
Botany Access, I think, is bugging out.
They've decided to tack under their bow.
I think they've all tacked back, haven't they?
Yep. just Aristocrat right of screen there, haven't tacked yet. There they are. Daryl Millam.
Very soft there on the Imey, only got the sheet hand out in the wire at the moment.
1.5.
And that's Bartley crossing the Imey Barnabas build.
As is Imagine signage.
So I think Imagine's probably in front on the boats that went left.
Yeah, I'm thinking the boats that went right might be in front. Just depends what pressure they get over there. But
Well, not only the pressure they got over there, Dole, they've just had
shift.
a Manly ferry come across.
I did see that
time.
cut through, but so that's Buckingham. Daniel Turner has also crossed Imey. They're all still pretty close though. Gee, and the ferry.
There's a ferry coming into this, going to make it
Yeah,
interesting.
that's the ferry top of screen. You can see they're taking a big turn out through the heads because of this swell.
He's going to play havoc with these guys out on the left-hand side of the course.
Yeah, I think he's going to go outside of them, Craig, which isn't a bad thing, but he's certainly coming out pretty wide before he takes that left-hand turn.
No, he's turning now.
Here he goes now.
He'll just go straight through the middle at that rate.
He'll split the fleet. So good gain from Canberra Airport in that last exchange. They did pretty well out of that, and they stepped up to be the windward boat of that pack. Them and Modern Concept and Imagine are going to cross above the ferry, which is much to their advantage. Seeing a number of boats there are pinned on the left-hand side. I can see there's, I think, Typhoon,
Buckingham
Botany,
Marine.
Buckingham.
Dole,
Yeah.
they've tacked back just so they cleared away from that ferry.
But yeah, I think some of the boats that have come in from the right-hand side, big advantage. We're going to have geochemical assessments, Red Pumps and Red Pumps Red. They're going to cross these boats that took the left-hand side.
There they are on screen, Dole.
So geochemical assessments will lead. I did talk them up before the start, so I'm glad I haven't put the curse on them.
Still plenty of racetrack to go, Dolly, and two of them.
So is the red? Which Red Pumps is in front
Red
of which
Pumps in front of Red Pumps Red.
Yes.
Yeah. I think we'll probably see Canberra Airport slot into 4th place, but we'll see once they tack. Imagine Signage also in the mix. That's geochemical assessments around.
And the good thing with Nathan there on the geochemical, Dole, is he's given up the 18s this year to concentrate on the 16s, and I think that's where we're sort of seeing the rewards from that boat in particular.
Putting his time into one boat.
Yeah.
And lovely set from those guys on Geo. That stepped them out a bit on top in front of Red Pumps and Red Pumps Red. So next round is Zoe Dransfield in the Red Pumps Red with Hugh and Jamie Stoddart.
Next one coming to the top mark is
Canberra Airport.
Canberra Airport. I think nice aerial shot. Not the
Big
best
set from the boys.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah, it went well. Next up, Nathan Wilmot with Ricky Bridge and Malcolm Page in the Imagine Signage. Spencer McKay in Modern Concept Constructions. Chris Williams, the sponsor on the sheet, and Jackson Cranfield.
He's trying to fit in, trying to find a hole here.
Yeah. Botany Access. Great top mark from Buck and Simple, young Tom Cameron. Ahead of Sutek, Buckingham Marine, Shebang, and then Imey will finally slot in there. So you blokes really put the curse on Lee, didn't you?
I told you exactly what he said this morning. So he wasn't lying to me for once.
Indeed.
All right, we might as well head off with the pack. Only a few of the...
It's the Bartley Construction behind Shebang and Buck and Simple.
It's interesting, nearly everyone's gone right. Whereas
when the left
page...
Well, going downhill.
Yeah, but I think it was the pressure.
Yeah.
Not so much where the wind was coming from. So it'd be interesting to see Imey's gone back the other way, right from the top mark. So let's see, what was he about? 12th, something like that?
Yeah, you're dead right though, Craig. Normally the side that favoured you upwind is the side you'll go to downwind. At the moment they're looking pretty good, but there's a bit of a glassy patch in the middle that I'm a bit concerned about. We'll see what happens when they get to that.
It's got huge sets of rollers coming under the boat at the moment. That's why we're not getting away too far.
Yeah, we've got a bit on here, folks. So the two red spinnakers you can see there, the two red pumps boats. Then to windward of them, Canberra Airport. And the boat out in front of them in the lead is Geochemical Assessments. That's the right-hand boats downwind. Currently first, second, third and fourth. It looks to me that the boats that went out to the left-hand side haven't really gained. They're a bit high on port, not getting as much depth as these right-hand boats that we're looking at now.
Interesting to see, Dole, that the 13 kids haven't, like half of them have gone left up the work, half of them have gone right up the work. They really didn't pay too much attention to what the 16s were doing. You know, like when you're sailing out into the abyss here in the Sound, you know, it's always good to have a fleet start before you so that you can use them as a gauge on which way to go and how to go.
For our 13 fans, they've only just gone away, but looks like a pretty tight battle between MCC, Harkin, Botany, Buckingham and Bigfoot. All very close. So they've only just started. So early days. Gee, and we're doing some surfing in the camera cat here, Jimmy, aren't we? Got a bit
Loving
on.
it, mate. The problem is where I've got to bail out to is putting us almost...
where the skiffs are.
Where the skiffs are,
Yeah.
so I sound a bit panicked. That's all that is just me trying to go against the grain of what you're meant to do.
If you need Ed and I to hike, just shout out.
Yeah, all of your weight, Dole, that'll help. Take young Sammy with you as well.
There's Imagine. They're currently in about 4th or 5th. So there's Geochemical Assessment dropping at the gate, taking the left-hand turn. Looks like Zoe Dransfield in red pumps red has got the better of her brother for now. Maybe moved up into second place. So red pumps red up into second after being third at the top mark, and then red pumps with Tyler Dransfield in third. Canberra Airport on a bit of a charge in 4th spot.
And they're splitting away from the lead 3 doll.
Canberra's taking the starboard bottom mark. You got
You know, they were all pretty tight there, so probably a good decision to split.
Less disturbed area over on that left-hand side. Like, it's very congested over looking back up the racecourse on the right-hand side at the moment. So probably a bit of a benefit to the Canberra Airport team.
Yeah, the left turn, as you say, Jimmy, you're going under a lot of boats with spinnakers up. Next in 5th place, we'll have Modern Concept Construction, Spencer McKay. Jared Smith has done well, as we expected, in Botany Access. 6th place. Taking the right-hand turn, we've got Buckingham Marine, Daniel Turner. Closely followed by Sutek, while on the left turn, you're looking down there, you can see Nathan Wilmot in Imagine Signage, and closely followed, fantastic racing so far from young Tom Cameron in the Buck and Simple.
So good to see, isn't it, Dol?
Fantastic.
Young ones stepping right up to the plate.
So Tom's just done his HSC.
Shebang coming to the mark. Oh, a bit untidy there.
Shebang doing shebang things.
Yeah, bit of a difficult drop for the team on the shebang. Next in, we've got Imey, Typhoon, followed by Bartley, Aristocrat, and Nozomi. And on the right-hand side, we've got Red Concrete.
Where's
and
Bartley? Think he's
Alphys.
going to fit in there? No? Oh, he did.
He's managed
Fitted
it.
in just fine, Craig. So.
He managed just fine.
Just opened up.
Good when it does, not so good when it doesn't.
Who's left?
So
Alvinier.
Just to the left of that shot there on screen, if we come around to our left a little, you'll see the Buckingham, Queens of Buckingham, there they are.
They're in touch, so really good sailing from the girls. Great job. Great job from the girls. So in touch with the fleet. Great effort. And doing it always with a smile on their face, which is fantastic. They're having an absolute ball, the girls. Sometimes a bit bruised and battered, but they're always got a smile on their face. They're loving it. And as this tide's dropping, this swell is getting bigger and bigger, isn't it?
You're not wrong.
Got a bit on here.
Looks like that breeze has gone a bit more to the right.
Yeah, touch.
Oh.
We're just making our way up course, and hopefully we'll be able to bring the viewers some 13 footage and information.
I think there's going to be a very excited sign rider from Brookvale when we bring the 13s on screen.
Uh-huh. So we're just making our way up to the 13-foot skiffs. And trying to hang on at the same time.
Lucky there's not more breeze, otherwise we'd be seeing a few nosedives, I think.
Yeah. In the camera cat.
There's a 13-foot skiffs on screen, and imagine signage is leading the 13-footers.
So, young Bo Dransfield, fantastic. They've also been putting in some time. I know JD's been out there giving them a bit of coaching as well, so also reaping some rewards. So, Bo Dransfield on Imagine with David Tolk and Heidi and Orlando. They're in the Harkin in second place. Looks like Lockie Jensen in Buck and Simple in third.
Yeah,
very close with the Bigfoot, aren't they?
Yes.
So that's Byron Lowe and Lockie Favalaro.
Now you've got the Botany Access, and way off in the distance the Dive Co. There's Bigfoot.
So just to reiterate the placings for you guys, it looks like Imagine from Harkin, but some boats coming in from the far side as well. Modern Concept Constructions up in the mix as well. Yeah, right here.
Should be come there.
And there's Buckingham Marine, so they obviously
had a shocker.
Zigged instead of zagged at some point heading up to that top mark.
Very uncharacteristic to see them back that far.
Yeah, bigger crew, but they can usually sail well in all conditions. It's the Botany Scaffold.
Who's on that? Did you say Claire's on that today?
Botany Scaff is Cooper Lowe with Levi Windust. So we'll try and keep you abreast of the 13-footers as the race progresses. We're just going to go back and check on the 16s. As the lead group are starting to make their way towards the top mark. And this swell is really starting to increase in size with the tide. We've got a bit on in the camera cat, so the crews on the skiffs are going to have a bit to deal with.
There's a couple of 13s upside down, just off screen.
And there's our leading pack on screen, and it looks like there's been a lead change.
I think Zoe's in front.
No, big gain to Canberra Airport.
Sorry, yep, Canberra.
So Archie Copley read that beat very well. So it looks like they'll lead from Red Pumps Red, and then Geochemical Assessments. Red Pumps Tyler Dransfield have just dropped off.
Where is he?
A bit down into probably 4th place, maybe 5th place. Daniel Turner has come back into the fold quite well in Buckingham Marine. But great work from the Canberra Airport team. Moved up very well. So Archie Cropley with Max Paul and Tom Kunich. Next up, coming into shot will be Zoe Dransfield in the Red Pumps Red with Hugh and Jamie Stoddart. Now they're on the jibe going across the swell. The real tricky one will be when they get onto port jibe and they're running more down these swells. And you can kind of see them on shot there now, but I can tell you what you're looking at is nothing compared to
what we've got.
What we've got. There's some pretty big runners coming through. That's Red Pumps, Tyler Dransfield coming around the top mark, just narrowly ahead of Daniel Turner in Buckingham Marine Services.
Been a few snakes and ladders up that work, Dolly.
Certainly was.
There's geochemical assessments heading out with Red Pumps Red up towards the Canai or Flagstaff point.
Out towards the north, and then you can see Zoe there has now jibed, and Geochemical have gone with them. So now they're running more with those waves. So Nathan McNamara chose to jibe just above Zoe Dransfield and run downwind with her.
And you'll see just there, sort of mid-screen on starboard coming in, is the Iamy Barnabas build. It has jumped quite a few placings up this work, so Leroy's found his mojo.
Gain. Good gain to them, yeah. They've probably picked up 5 spots since that bottom mark rounding, maybe 6 spots.
And this is only a 3-lapper for the 16s and 2 laps for the 13s. Every time I watch Rob pull up a spinnaker dole, I'm always thinking in my head, how many hoists and drops do you reckon Rob's done over his career?
Yeah, fair few, mate.
There was frequent flyer miles for it. He'd have the access to the Gold Lounge by himself, I think.
Who's that just going around now?
Buck and Simple.
Jeez, they're going well.
Yeah, Tom Cameron having a great race with Tim Lees and Peter Jensen. Well, a bit scrappy on the kite. They've got to get that up before they prawn it. There they are. You can see there, they're just going to get it, I think.
Ooh.
There you go. That was a good save. They were in a bit of strife there for a second, which would have been a real shame. They've sailed such a great race up to now.
Aristocrat, Daryl
Millam and the boys. That's Kobe Napper and Liam Karuna-Ratne. More juniors who've stepped up through the 13s and moved into the 16-footers in recent times. Buck and Simple just having to navigate their way through some wash as well as the swell. Doing a great job. Here's a big swell picking up behind them.
So they're only...
Canberra Airport just on final jibe into the gate now. Zoe in the red pumps coming in with a little bit more pressure than what Canberra did.
Yeah, I think she might be
Closing in here, yeah. Might be able to slam a jibe inside.
And in the 13s, for the viewers watching at home, Harkin has managed to regain the lead from Imagine Signage.
A new leader in the 16s. It's Red Pumps Red. Zoe Dransfield. Very quick in these conditions, isn't she, Dolly?
Yeah. So far this season, that's what's really surprised me to not see them higher up in the point score for the club championship so far. But still a long way to go. They can really make an impact on this by getting a few more good results today. There they are. They've stepped out, managed to get a jibe inside Canberra Airport.
There you go. Red Pumps Red and Red Pumps.
So geochemical assessments, they've rounded in third. looks to me like most likely we'll have Buckingham Marine in a tight battle with Red Pumps, Tyler Dransfield. They've just come head to head, port and starboard. There they go. So Daniel Turner managed to get across in front of Red Pumps.
So
we've got Buckingham Marine electing to take the right-hand turn, and we'll have Red Pumps and Imagine Signage, Nathan Wilmot, taking the left turn. So Imagine have also managed to find a bit of pace in that second lap. Just as I say that, they body drag a crewman over the side.
Yeah,
They've got that back together now.
the breeze has just lifted off a bit down here at this bottom mark.
Good gain to the Sutec too on that lap. So taking the left-hand turn ahead of Botany Access, while Modern Concept Constructions are taking the right-hand mark. So that's probably our top 10 covered in that exchange, I suppose. And next in will be Lee Napton in the IME. That's them with the orange spinnaker, you can see. Coming in for a jibe drop. That rounds out the top 10 or 12. Certainly patchy down this bottom end though, down towards the gate. A lot of spinnakers and ferries and stuff really chopping up the breeze, making life pretty difficult. Looks like following IME we're going to have Aristocrat, Bartley, Shebang, I think, and Buck and Simple.
Oh, I think that's Aristocrat doll.
Altus.
Altus, sorry.
Yep. There we go. That's Altus, you can see there now. Aristocrat around. That's a good overhead of Altus, Buck and Simple and Bartley Construction. We'll start and make our way up the course again for the final lap. Once again, we're just making a hard going of this seaway, but we'll get there for you. There's the Shebang on approach to the bottom mark, and just with Typhoon, Alex Hart. There's the red concrete and the Queens of Buckingham. Queens of Buckingham still hanging in there really well. Great job from the girls. But even though it's lighter air today, which makes it a little bit easier for the girls to get their head around, you know, they're new to the boat, etc. But I'll tell you, this swell certainly isn't making it easy, so they're doing a fantastic job. trying to make out who that is, Craig, but I can't. We're on the wide shot again, so viewers can see the 13 fleet there now. They're making their way to the top mark for the last time. There's a couple of boats are around. So
Harkin's around there, Dol.
yeah, Harkin
Off
leading.
screen at the moment.
Harkin leading ahead of Imagine Signage. Those two boats for the viewers following the 13s, they're a standout. So Harkin with a good lead, but Imagine Signage giving chase. There they are. There's the body camera cat in shot there. So those who don't know the boat, that's us in the blue camera cat.
Just Imagine Signage on screen there. They've got a very nice break to the third boat. Not even.
Yeah, it looks like Buck and Simple in third place, Lockie Jansen.
Good to see Scotty Archer coming on board and the team from Imagine Signage to sponsor a 13 as well as a 16. So welcome further into the family, Scott, I guess is the best way to put it.
Thanks for your support, Scott. And two great young sailors in Beau Dransfield and David Tolk to support.
Don't forget the young guys in the 16s, Mal Page and Nathan Wilmot.
Those young blokes.
How's this swell?
So that's Buck and Simple are around. So they're in third place, Buck and Simple.
Oh,
Jeepers.
God.
So
Sorry,
that's
viewers,
Lockie
Tried to give you a
Jansen
heads
and
up.
Max Barrett.
That's Red Pumps.
So
Just
Red
about-
Pumps red on approach to the top mark. Zoe Dransfield extended a tiny little bit, Craig.
Yes, she has, for
Probably
sure.
another 50 metres from what she had at the bottom mark. This is going to really help their point score for the club championship. They needed some good results.
Yep.
So I think after, if we get both races in today, Dole, I think the drop comes into play after 5, I think, by memory.
Okay.
Happy to be proven wrong.
She's got a big lead. That is a big lead.
Yeah, good gain on that
Yeah.
beat.
She's doubled. Remember down the bottom, she was very close.
Oh, they were very close
Yeah.
with Canberra Airport, and
And
now
like-
they're probably 150 metres.
I think, and a bit more. He's still not at the top mark yet. He's just getting there now.
There we go. So that's Archie going around the top mark now. Probably about 20, 30 seconds in that.
And you've got a 13 coming round.
Dive and Diveco. That's more of the Camerons, isn't it, Dom?
Yeah. Yep. Ian Crewing, I think. Father Ian.
What's the next one?
Next 13 around will be the IME 13.
Good to see both an IME 13 and an IME 16 as well. As with the case with MCC as well.
Oh, and that boat just going around the mark there with no signage on it. I think there's
So red pumps.
a flotilla for them.
Is that another Red Pumps?
That's,
Yeah. Yeah. Yet to be sign written. So that's Gemma Hopkins, former Australian champion in the 13s with Harvey Windus. Gemma's also one of our junior coaches for the Manly Juniors fleet.
Well, they got a bit on here. Is that Botany in the Texaco? And the Geotex inside both of them.
Yeah, and good plan. They're getting inside. They can get that spinnaker up and not be bound up above them.
They did it well. They were on a wave there, Dole. Like
Yeah.
the young kids watching, you pick your spot to get away, do it on the face for away.
There he goes. He's just got in front of him now, so he should be fine.
Yeah.
Get a roll on. They've cleared out nicely.
And the next 16 around is actually the other red pumps. Just to the right of the screen there, viewers. You just missed it.
Next 16 in.
Was Buckingham.
Buckingham have been around, just around, and then Modern Concept Constructions. So that's our top 6, I think, boats around.
Yes. Then you've got Imagine Signage and Sutek. And I think there's a bit of a break to
Botany Access, it looks like, and IME Barnabas Building.
So that's IME and Botany went round the bottom mark together. And off screen now, viewers, but
Double Buckingham there on screen.
Yep.
beautiful.
Ruffy jibed and ruined the shot. Didn't get the memo. Sutek giving chase to Imagine Signage. You can see as they get on those runners, they're just
Big gains to be made if you can
Yeah.
hold one.
yeah. So you'll see forward hands walking the gunnel, pumping the kite, trying to make the gains. It's going to get you down for the finish. Zoe Dransfield in Red Pumps. Red has made a good. These last few laps really stepped out. Good tactics, good speed.
There she goes, she's first.
So Canberra Airport in second at the moment, just driving to the finish line. We've just seen Red Pumps Red take the win. Zoe Dransfield on the helm with Hugh and Jamie Stoddart. I think we're just seeing Buck and Simple finishing third in the 13-foot skiffs. There's Canberra Airport crossing the line now, second in the 16-footers. Archie Cropley with Max Paul and Tom Kunich. Canberra Airport will also be pretty happy with that result. I think they've been putting in a fair bit of work. Boys have been away a little bit sailing the 49er. So been missing a bit of 16 sailing the last week or two. As the Niner Championships were held up on Lake Macquarie, but they're back now.
Who's that coming in?
A Middle Harbour boat on
is it?
just there, the red boat. Red Spinnaker's a Middle Harbour boat. So next in we'll have geochemical assessments. There they are. They'll be about to jibe to the finish. So that last lap, we really saw them spread out quite a bit. It had been super, super close, and just a few gaps started to open up.
So is that image signage there? Or is it?
No.
No, it's...
No, Middle
No, it's
Harbour
a Middle Harbour boat with the
So
white spinnaker.
next in's a red spinnaker, red pumps, Tyler Dransfield.
He's a nice little runner there, isn't he?
Dive Code 13 just ran through the finish.
Middle Harbour boat and all sorts, eh?
Yeah, a couple of Middle Harbour boats
A
sailing
few
through
of
our
them coming
finish
to
line
join the party.
Next is so on screen there, Buckingham Marine Services, Daniel Turner, but he'd just been pipped down at the pin end of the line by Modern Concept Constructions.
You got Sutek coming into the frame now. Should be next.
And top is Imagine
I
Signage.
think Imagine Signage is just going to knock him off.
At the pin end,
Oh,
yeah.
What was that? 3 or 4 seconds?
If that.
Enough.
Yeah.
So Sutek, they're through. They're just going to drop.
This is going to be an interesting finish here. Just on the
There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8.
There's a bit of traffic. Lee Napton coming in hot towards the pin end, Jimmy. And on a big runner, is he going to get that wave? No, it just fell off the back. They really needed that, but I think they'll still get there.
I think it might be enough for them, Dol.
Yeah.
There you go. They're on
Got
one now.
one now.
Wow. Yes.
And you got Texco the 13, Botany Access the 16. Then this one here with a little light blue spinnaker, that's Cadence & Co. with a borrowed mainsail after, I believe, a rescue boat ate their mainsail last week. The Kitchen Maker, Modern Concept Constructions for the 13s. Bigfoot Sailing. And Botany, is that Scaffold or?
That's Scaffold, yep.
Or Access. Scaffold. And Buckingham Marine. And then the Botany Access.
Wow. That gaggle of boats for the sort of minor placings in the 13s. Wow, that was super close. About 8 boats finishing within 10 seconds of each other, I reckon, there.
I hope the finishing crew videoed that, because trying to pencil that all down at the one time might have been a bit of an effort.
Write them down that quick.
One bit of snapped lead in the pencil, it's
Yeah,
all
that's
over.
it.
No, most of them these days, Craig, they have like an old iPhone or something.
Just film with that.
Well, they don't use a SIM in it. They just use it for the voice recorder and things like that. So just a nice little easy one out of what goes on a start boat.
So as your boat was just on, oh, there they are on screen now, Craig, the Typhoon. And Aristocrat's going to just pip them on the line. So Aristocrat with the blue kite, Typhoon with the white.
Then you've got Altus coming into the frame from the right-hand side here. But I think my guys will just get there. They're there, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. So then we've got another 2 coming in. Is that Shebang, is it?
We've got Buck and Simple and Bartley.
Then the Fluid 13. As we're coming to the end of the first race today, which is race 4, big shout out to all the Manly junior kids that are back at the club, Dole. They're all sitting back at the club at the I think they've been set up on the tall tables there with the 3 TVs are just as you walk in watching the live stream. So big shout out to the kids. We might see if we can get
across to them.
Get a little video back to them.
But g'day to all the Manly junior kids. I hope you had a great day for your state championships today.
And they're on again tomorrow, Dol.
They are, I believe, yep. So I hope you're all nice and warm back in the club now, enjoying a bowl of hot chips or something. I'm sure the club's looking after you all. And I hope you're enjoying watching the 16s, and we're looking forward to you guys being in the 16s in the next few years. There's Ant King in the shebang coming through. They certainly dropped off the pace as that race went on.
I must give a shout out to Squark from Norse and David Witt, who I was talking to the other night, and they said they love watching the live 16s every Saturday when it's live.
David made an appearance at the Skiff Club the other night, I believe. So
He said it was the first time he'd been there for 40 years. Last time he sailed there was we won Dave Mackay as a fourth hand when he was 12.
oh, that's just like yesterday. Red concrete.
And then an Adams 10 coming in.
Funny sometimes how they've got the whole harbour.
They have.
But no,
Just out of view. Viewers, it's about to come in. The Adams 10's about to go through our finishing line. There he is.
just cruising along. So we've got most of them through now, I think.
I think we're just waiting on the Queens of Buckingham, which is just right in front of the camera cat.
And there was Al Veneer was back there as well. Is Al Veneer the blue spinnaker?
No, because
they
they're a dark hull. Avlinia, but that's...
No, that's
Nozomi.
Yeah.
Right, so we're
There's
still
the Queens.
Great job, Fee and the girls.
they'll be happy with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's Nozomi.
Oh, don't capsize, don't capsize. Oh.
Good save.
So we're still looking for...
Who are you looking for, Craig?
Avlinia.
Yeah.
They're down here behind the line. I think they've put the queue in the
okay,
rack,
righto.
possibly. And
They did 2 laps instead of 3. Fair enough.
Oh, yeah. We have got one boat up course, but I'm not sure if it's one of ours. It's the Queen's just getting that spinnaker tidily away, so it's ready for their next set. They might have a little knot in the halyard, I think. So first all-girl crew in the 16s to my knowledge. I've been around, not around 16s as long as you, Craig, but I'm sure
you nearly have.
You don't remember a female 16 crew, do you?
Not an all-female crew.
No, that's what I mean.
Might have been for the odd weekend, but not for the whole season.
Yeah.
And I was talking to Fiona during the week. She's just, seems to be, as you know, she was a very competent 13-foot skiff sailor in a day.
Indeed.
But been a while since.
There's all the 13 kids back in the club,
Hey,
just on the left-hand
hey.
side of the screen. So, g'day, kids.
I don't think I've got
And
the
the
volume
parents?
up. I think they're watching the cricket.
They're about 30 seconds
They're
delayed from
they're
what...
delayed.
Oh, are they?
Yeah,
Okay.
we're good, but we're not that good, Craig. The club can pay for a premium service and we can have zero...
Time delay.
Yeah.
Oh, looks like they've been given a feed and a few drinks there and enjoying watching the seniors sail the skiff. So, g'day to all the MJ sailors, and hope you all had a fantastic day today and a great day again tomorrow. And your racing is successful and goes well. But the main thing is that you enjoyed your sailing. It's not all about winning, it's about having a great time and sailing with your mates. So we're just waiting now for...
I think for the
couple of
Bartley
boats.
13-foot skiff, the other blue spinnaker that I can see up course looks like it might be from Middle Harbour. I think that looks like MH44 from the signage.
Yeah, I think you're right, Jimmy. So hopefully we're not too far about away from getting into sequence again, because looks to me, Craig, that there's a bit of weather out to the east of us coming in from offshore.
Looks like some wet cloud, doesn't it?
Does to me, yep.
Got the rain radar for you.
That can be a good or a bad thing. Can either kill the breeze or bring a bit with it. So
No, it's looking pretty clear, Dol.
yep. Okay.
Must be just...
You're doing well to navigate your way around that bomb site these days.
I know, it's a shocker, isn't it?
Yeah.
Used to be so simple, now they've made it even harder.
You can use the legacy mode of it.
Yeah, I've been doing that.
Right.
After you gave me the tip the other week, Jimmy. It does take you straight to the radar.
Instead of having to zoom in 1,000 times.
Oh, just navigate your way through, yeah.
There's the two red pumps, 16-foot skiffs on screen.
Brother and sister. Tyler skippering the red pumps with the black sails, and his sister Zoe steering red pumps red, which is the white hull with the light coloured sails. Our winner today.
Just got our last 13 coming to the finishing line.
So yeah, just the Bartley 13 making its way through now to the finish.
Good on them for keep going and going. They had a couple of swims I noted while we were going around the course.
It's Jack Pounding and Isaac Pudney. So they're new to the 13, so great to see them having a crack. Pretty tricky day. So I don't know what your radar's reading, Craig, but
I know.
look at that. You're telling me that's not rain?
Well, it looks like rain.
Sure does. It's Canberra Airport. Great first race today. They'll be looking to capitalise on that and try and get another good result. Anything in the top 3 or 5 in this Manly 16s fleet. It's a good result. Very, very tough competition. We're looking forward to the Nationals in January. And we'll see a big fleet of 16s contest the titles.
And the interesting thing is being up at Belmont, Dolly, it actually brings a lot of the Belmont boats right into the contention. Just
Yeah.
first, it's in their home waters, like
Local knowledge,
yeah, there's a
flatter
couple-
water.
exactly, and yeah. So at the moment, I think Manly's definitely got the upper hand on the Belmont fleet at the moment. But I think once they get up there and get into their home waters, I think you'll find it's going to be very, very close.
Yeah, there's definitely some very competitive boats at the front of the fleet up there. So it'll be a tough regatta. Next Saturday, viewers, we'll be bringing you the round 2 of the 16-foot and 13-foot skiff state championships live on Saturday from St George 16-footers. Sail Media will be bringing you the coverage on Saturday for day 3 of
Well,
the
that was
state
our 5
championship.
minutes for the 16s. So,
It's invisible rain, Dom. It's not showing up on the radar, but it definitely
No,
looks like
it
it.
certainly looks like rain coming.
Or is it a sea mist?
Could do one of two things: bring some breeze with it, or kill the breeze entirely. Let's hope it's the former. There's a Harkin 13 on screen. Interestingly, Orlando's on the helm and Heidi's sitting in front of him.
Yeah,
but
that confused me there for a bit.
I don't think that was the
well,
case during the
they've
race.
got just over 10 minutes to go, so given, well, mind you, it looks like Heidi's got the trapeze jacket on.
They might be just mixing it up a little bit, just for a bit of fun.
And Dolly on the start boat, we'll get the camera around to it. We've got a U flag up.
Yep.
So
Try and keep them honest. We're running out of time. I would have just left the black up, mate.
I would have.
I would have too.
Yeah.
Like, what's the
Yeah,
time?
it
It's
is.
10. It's 10 past, nearly 10 past 4.
That's what the three of us would have done. Just shows that we're not very nice. You know?
So it's another L3 for the 16s and L2 for the 13s.
Hope you didn't have any dinner plans, mate.
Yeah.
Because I think the top markers stayed in the same place. So be sailing the same course, same distance, another race. They do have the option to shorten at some point if this breeze does get a bit funky. We're about to find out because the rain is starting to close in on us now.
But not according to the radar, Dolly. I think it's too light to show up.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah,
a
folks.
radar on screen for the folks. That's what Craig and Dolly are talking about.
You can see the cloud bands there, but
That's very clever. I like that.
yeah, that's a pretty good line of cloud there, Craig.
Yes.
So that's the rain that we've got coming. Bit harder to see on the on our film screen there, but coming in over North Head now, we've got a fair bit of rain coming.
Good aerial shot there, showing us the line. We've just over a minute to go. Where are you starting this time, Dolly?
Oh, I still think it's looking fairly boatish-ish. Want to be careful pushing up with this U flag though. A few boats up on the line quite early with only a minute to go. Modern concept construction's quite advanced. Red pumps quite advanced. Managing to hold the boats up. Tide's probably starting to ease up a little bit now.
They're getting very close to that line again. Looking at that head-on shot with 30 seconds to go. Someone in the middle's very, very close there. Who's that really advanced?
Avliner.
Yeah, I think they're over.
Yeah, and I think they're over already. They're definitely over. Great start at the boat end by Daniel Turner in Buckingham Marine Services. Just on top of Zoe Dransfield in Red Pumps Red, the leeward of them Canberra Airport. So the sort of boats that we saw shine in race 1 have chosen to get up towards the boat end, punching out. Breeze is a bit more in the right this time by the looks as this rain comes through. You can see there now Zoe Dransfield just managed to put a bit of a squeeze on Dan Turner and punch out in front of him.
He's coming back a bit now, but it's just when she sort of like clutching change gears with her, isn't it? Look at her stepping there in front of her there.
Yeah, Dan Turner doing well, managing to hold on the hip there. It's a pretty hard position to hold sometimes.
Well, they're both lifting off the boats to leeward of them. So sometimes when you're in that position fighting each other, you're actually dragging yourself along.
Yeah, just grinding that height.
Yes.
So you can see the leeward of them, Canberra Airport, Geotechnical and Imagine, along with MCC and Botany Access. A little bit behind that bunch is Red Pumps, Tyler Dranfield, and down the leeward we have Sutec and Imey Barnabas Building. Yeah, once again in that little exchange, Zoe's just managed to step out a boat length or two.
You can see there, like you can see Ruffy's crew's sort of just crouching half the time, whereas just as they're a little bit lighter on the red pumps, they're just fully extended out on the trapeze the whole time. As someone just gets in there.
Yeah. Hugh and Jamie are, Hugh's fairly big. They're both super fit guys. Jamie, for a young guy, has bulked up in the past few years. He looks really fit and strong.
Even Zoe wouldn't weigh much.
No.
No.
Certainly weighs less than Dan Turner, Ruffy.
Yes. You just see on that shot there, she's just stepped out again from the whole fleet, hasn't she?
Yeah. Yeah, they've been sailing exceptionally well for this first part of the season. And this will certainly help their aspirations for the club championships.
We can see there in the background, they're starting to come back. The other boats are just out of shot, but Zoe would have 150 metres on the Imey, and then no slouches on that boat. It's Imey in the middle of the shot there.
Yeah, the other boat that stepped out just a little bit from the pack to leeward is Modern Concept Constructions. So they're managing to hold out Imagine signage, Sutec and Botany. But yeah, you can see Red Pumps Red there, just inch by inch stepping out, doing a fantastic job at early stages in this race. We've got a long way to go, and this rain is really starting to close in now. It's not heavy rain, but it's really covering off. It's going to be very interesting to see what this rain does to the breeze. Looks like as we get further up course, it's starting to soften a little. Maybe clocking around a little bit to the left too, Ed. With the
looks a bit that way at the moment.
That's the direction the rain's coming from.
You can see the red pump's a bit bow down on MCC. Yeah, so
breeze is shifting left slightly here.
And I think if you look down, Sutec's even more bow down.
Yeah.
Towards Flagstaff, or definitely a new line, I think, coming.
Yeah, they've definitely slowed up here, so the breeze has got softer. Modern Concept Constructions of tack coming back towards the starboard tackers. They won't cross red pumps. We could expect at some point here, yeah, I was about to say, red pumps will tack, and just as I did, they did. Choosing to just go under the bow.
Interesting to see what Buckingham's going to tack underneath them, just out of shot, viewers. Ruffy's tacked just below the red pumps.
Just managing to hook onto a little vein of pressure. Is the red pumps red? So they've stepped out nicely over the top there now, red pumps red. A little bit of it, more of a gain over Daniel Turner, Buckingham Marine Services.
Did anyone go to the right, Dolly? Did you notice?
There's a few over there, but so red pumps
Imey's over there.
Are over there,
you can see them in the back of that shot.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure they're going to come back like they did in race one from that side this time. Remains to be seen. They could tack on a shift over there, but to me the breeze seems to have clocked around to the left, which should favour the left-hand boats.
I think that rain's starting to clear too.
Make it quite hard to see.
It disappeared.
Now, that's why I was trying to pick who those right-hand boats were. It was very hard to pick who it was through the mist. You can see them out to leeward there. They're actually a long way across red pumps and Imey.
And there was, did you see where Imagine Signage got to?
Yeah, they were a bit late at attack, so they should be just round.
They're just
behind
us,
and to leeward of us.
in the camera cap.
Yeah. But yeah, as I mentioned, that right-hand side this time will not pay.
Nah, that looks very sad out on that right, doesn't it?
Yeah, down pressure and down on direction. Port hand boats high on port.
Geez, they're a long way back, but aren't they?
So it's red pumps, red. First round the top mark, first time. I'll be followed by Daniel Turner in Buckingham Marine. And then Spencer Mackay in Modern Concept Constructions. Very much down pressure at the moment.
Geez, those guys that went out to the right, they're all coming back on bad angles too, aren't they?
Yeah, breeze has shifted to the left.
Yeah.
Next in, Archie Cropley, Canberra Airport. Then Mikey Kerner having a better race this time in the Sutek.
Imey look like, Imagine Signage look like they're a little bit thin on that mark.
A little bit
Yeah,
skinny on the lay line. Managed to sneak around inside Botany Access.
Next you've got, did they go
Yeah, geochemical assessments.
Did they go right or left?
They were over on the right, I think. Along with Imey, who are going to be our next around, but they've just underlaid this mark by a touch. They've got to tack again. And the boat that went furthest right, I think, was Tyler Dransfield in red pumps, and they've really suffered from that.
And absolutely hosed.
So we've got Imey, Aristocrat, Altus, Buck and Simple. Next in will be Bartley Construction, red pumps. There they are now. Next after them will be Typhoon coming into shot. There's the Typhoon. Alex Hart, Lindsay Stead, Lockie Pryor. There's the Shebang and King.
And followed by Red Concrete.
And next after them will be very closely followed by the Queens of Buckingham.
And Alvenier after rounds out the fleet.
If So it's Imagine signage you're looking at there, currently in probably about 6th position. Nathan Wilmot, Ricky Bridge, Malcolm Page. Geochemical assessments.
There's the Harkin 13, I think, leading the 13s.
Yeah, very close between them and Imey right now. So Imey having a strong second start, coming off the line. I believe Sophie Hart is sailing the Imey today. So there they are. There's Harkin narrowly in front of Imey. Well, it looks like they'll be followed by probably the Imagine 13 again in close proximity. There's a pretty close bunch here. Texco, Fluid, all pretty tight here. Botany Access, Buck and Simple. And once again, Harkin with a narrow lead.
Very congested just here at the moment. 13s and 16s crossing each other.
Red Concrete on screen to windward of the Typhoon.
And looks like Red Pumps Red has extended their lead at in the 16-foot skiff style, looking down wind.
Yeah, it looks like them and Canberra Airport are well advanced on everybody else.
Well, is that Buckingham Marine, I think,
Buckingham
in second.
coming in from the other side, are they? Yeah. quite tricky to see.
That's Imagine going around the bottom mark just now, I think.
So, Imagine, Imey and Aristocrat taking the left turn. Geochemical Assessments is taking the right turn behind Modern Concept Constructions and Sutec. So the leaders have stepped away, but it's still pretty tight racing in the pack of the pack.
Two old Flying 11 mates having a
bit of a duel.
a bit of a discussion going around the mark between Phil Cook and Daryl Miller.
Left turn behind Buck and Simple, we've got Bartley Construction and Red Pumps, Tyler Dransfield.
I think you have Red Concrete. Is he gonna sag down at this mark?
Yeah, they'll be next in. They might, what are they going to do? Yeah, straight drop and left-hand turn for James Downey with Seb and George.
And then the bendy palm tree of the Typhoon.
It's a shame you're not out there today, Ed. I reckon this is your kind of day.
Smarter than that, doll.
You love this light, shifty stuff.
It's my forte, always was.
Yeah. Imey Barnabas Fielding. Currently probably in about 8th, 10th place. Somewhere around that. Lee Napton, as you know, as we've mentioned, on the helm today, filling in for Joel Beashall. Hopefully Joel's getting himself some good results up there at the Harkin Match Racing Championships at Royal Prince Alfred Yacht Club. Bartley coming into shot there now, Dan Bromelo. Having a pretty good day today, Dan.
Well, they are one of the lighter crews. You'd expect them to maybe come through a little bit more.
Dan obviously
Just
sailing Bartley.
Is it
Someone heading home.
Is that the Evelina heading home?
A couple of boats heading home by the looks.
Oh yeah, I didn't see the other one up further. Well, that'd be... Did we see Shebang around the bottom?
No, I didn't see Shebang come back down. And Alvanier was definitely over at that start.
Yeah.
And they never went back or anything, did they?
No, well, they couldn't under a U flag anyway. Yeah. And it would have been good if the rescue boats did tell them they were wasting their time. MCC just tacking off Flagstaff, North Head. They'd be pretty close to a ley line there. Port Hand ley line. Looking pretty light right now though. Breeze starting to drop out a bit. It is getting pretty late in the afternoon. And we have got this wispy rain coming through. Fairly unpleasant sailing conditions right now.
There's the 13s charging on.
Just out of shot, the Harkin has got a commanding lead in the 13s.
From Imey, and then one of the Botanies.
Yeah, Modern Concept Construction's also in the mix, as is Imagine for the minor placings. 13-foot skiffs.
That breeze is just starting to disappear again, isn't it?
Yeah. Very, very patchy now. There's some big holes in it. Right now, there's a nice bit of breeze at the top mark. But either side of it, it's looking pretty light. Botany, Access and Sutek.
Is Zoe round yet? Did you...
No, not quite yet, but on approach.
Almost there.
About 20 metres to go. There she is. Around they go. Zoe Dransfield, Hugh Stoddart and Jamie Stoddart in the bow. Lovely set from the boys. Dan Turner in close proximity giving chase. Buckingham Marine around the mark, top of screen there now and choosing to jibe set.
Red Pumps has jibed to
Cover them off.
Yep. Let's see what the Canberra guys do.
Canberra Airport around now. They're going to set. Yes, they are. And those three boats with a pretty hefty advantage over the rest of the fleet. Probably going to be a good minute and a half, if not more, back to fourth place.
It's a big break,
So
isn't it?
those three boats have really stepped out. It looks to me, boys, like this breeze is shutting down.
Yep.
So it'll be interesting to see whether they do...
Another lap or finishes down the bottom.
Yeah, whether they might shorten them up.
Oh, just to the left of, there they are, just on the left of the screen there, the boat that's capsized. The Kitchen Maker 13, they just ran down a wave and didn't come up.
Oh, they just...
The full cartwheel. So,
Taylor Lees, I think, is on the Kitchen Maker today.
I think the reason why, particularly Red Pump's red jibe, just looking at their trajectory down to the bottom.
They're aiming at the bottom mark.
They're basically aiming at the bottom mark. The breeze has swung.
That's why all these guys are reaching in.
Yeah.
But it's swung and dying. It's a problem. We're just going around the top mark now. We've got Imagine, MCC, IME, Botany, Sutek and Simple. Very close proximity for the minor placings after third. So sort of fourth through to 10th, very close racing.
So it's follow the leader, really.
Bit of a disappointing second race from Geochemical Assessments after a strong first race. Got themselves a bit lost in this second one. So it's a Red Pumps red left of screen there with the red spinnaker in the lead. But Daniel Turner still staying in touch. That's Red Pumps and Bartley around the top mark, and I'll tell you, Red Pumps red isn't too far from the bottom gate, so those two boats are nearly a leg of the course behind right now. There's some geochemical assessments that I mentioned just before, not having as stellar race as they did in the first one. They had a fantastic first race. But super tricky at the bottom of the course where we are right now. We'll bring these pictures to you in a moment. There we are.
So down the bottom end of the course, viewers, it's gone very, very soft.
So we're coming into the gate. We're going for another lap.
In all fairness, though, that would have been a one-lapper for the 13s if they had have shortened that up. So, a bit unfair on some of the kids if they had a bit of a... They're on the wrong side of that shift on the first one.
That's for sure.
At least this gives them a chance for redemption.
So very close now between Red Pumps Red, Buckingham Marine Services
And you've got
and
Canberra
Canberra Airport coming in.
With Boy Room on Buckingham.
And a very late drop. Plenty of work here to do on the Canberra Airport to get that spinnaker away.
Oop, not in the halyard, no, down it comes.
They're good. Great young team on the Canberra Airport. They're getting the job done. But super close between our top three. Very close racing for the top three. Daniel Turner is not going to be able to live there for too long. Be looking for something to get him out of there. He's really copping some bad, dirty air, bad gas from the two lead boats. Probably just no pressure for him to tack out right now.
So that's the way to go as well, so he doesn't really want to tack off.
No, but even a short one to clear
just
his air.
a clearing tack is...
Yeah.
Give yourself some sort of fighting chance.
Close rounding here between the 313s.
Yeah, Red Pumps, Botany Scaffold and Texaco, closely followed by Bigfoot Sailing, while Fluid takes the right-hand turn out the other side. And then closing in, we've got our next 16s to come in. So we've had quite a gap between that top three, and it looks like next in it's going to be very close between Botany Access, Modern Concept Constructions and Imagine Signage. So Botany will narrowly get the left hand done just before Modern Concept.
Sutek's got room on Imey. And Imagine went round the starboard gate.
I was just trying to make out we're a little bit far away. I'm not sure if that is Spencer Mackay or Kurt Hansen sailing on Modern Concept. We do have, I think, Spencer on our crew list, but not
I
quite
think
sure.
that's who Chris was saying during the week that he was going with this week.
Okay, yeah.
Apparently, Kurt, with his other commitments, had put on a few too many kgs looking at the forecast.
Okay. There's not much to him.
No, there's not much to
No.
him, that's for sure.
So, meanwhile, Red Pumps has taken the right turn, as has Bartley, and now you're looking at Alex Hart in Typhoon, just getting around in front of Geochemical Assessment. So, good little gain for Geochemical on that run because they were pretty deep at the top of that beat. But now they've got the kite stuck up the mast, so not a good... There they go. They're about to get it down now.
And Aristocrat's going to slide inside him. Say thank you very much.
Daryl Millam, the wily old fox. Through he goes.
Now that breeze has kicked back in a bit, Doc.
A little and back around to the
Right
a little. So looks like a bit more right-hand favoured this time. Right-hand favoured course. So okay, so that's looking from Red Pumps Red down to Buckingham Marine Services. So that's our first and second right now. The camera angle makes the distance seem a bit further than it is, but Red Pumps Red does have the windward advantage and some distance advantage, so going well. And yeah, Craig, you're right, a little bit of build-in pressure as this breeze has clocked around to the right a bit. We've had that rain cloud move across, drag the breeze direction with it. Quite interesting the way it's panning out right now. Both those boats below a ley line. Canberra Airport has gone a little bit further to the south, a bit more to the right, and could possibly be on a ley line, I suspect. At least closer to it than the other two. There's Daniel Turner in Buckingham.
He's a long way short of that line.
Yeah, they've still got a couple of tacks to do. I think even Canberra Airport's going to struggle to make it in one tack as well. We're about to see.
No.
Yeah. Still pretty tight between these top three. There's Canberra Airport, flat and fast, but they're looking to make a gain on the lead two boats, and Buckingham Marine on port should cross. Hang on to that second place. Canberra Airport certainly closing the gap down.
He certainly is. He's sort of halved that distance, hasn't he?
Yeah. So these top three sailing a very tough race. But so far it seems like Red Pumps Red has just had a very slight speed advantage over the other two.
Good aerial shot there. I think Ruffy might be a little bit short on that lay again.
Again, yeah. It's got some pressure coming though, which should allow him to drive up a little. Zoe definitely laying the mark easily. Whereas Archie will still have a couple of tacks to do, I think, to get up to this top mark.
I think Buckingham's might get there. He's got a bit of a right-handy there.
Yeah.
He's got the 13. Oh no, just slam one right in front of him.
Oh no.
Well done.
It's Beau Dransfield and David Tolk having just to bide their time for a little bit till the 16 got over them so they could bang a little tack in, clear this mark. Swing it down, Dave. Get it flat. That's the way. Good job, boys. Canberra Airport around.
Think they'll jibe, or you think they'll keep going, Dolly?
Looks like a straight set.
It's a bit soft up in front with the red spinnaker, where Zoe is. Just a bit of bow up.
There's the three leaders in the 16s, right to left. got to say it, in that beat, Modern Concept Constructions and IME Barnabas Building made a good game. They've closed in some distance on that lead 3. So it was quite a time differential at the bottom of the course, and they've certainly shut some of that time down. MCC around.
Just for the 13 viewers, the Harkin is absolutely launched and crossing the finish line as we speak, so they're way off in the distance of that shot.
Streeted the field.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's MCC in front of IME. And
to the left of that shot.
Just off screen, we've got a bit of
I think Jared was
bit of contact.
Botany going to do some turns there?
Well, they did hit the mark.
And they hit Nathan as well. So.
Only a Simo swim.
Yeah, I think Botany Access is doing some turns there. He's got to do a 360. See that, Dolly?
Yeah, Mikey Kerner just did a nice little save in the Sutek to keep clear of a 13. So, yeah, Jared Smith in Botany Access has just done a 720 to exonerate himself.
360.
I think he did 2 turns.
I don't think he meant to do the second one.
Yeah, but I've 2 infringements.
Oh, yeah.
Quite possibly. Either way, he did do 2 turns. He only needed to do 1 turn for hitting the mark. Just going to try and make our way back down the course and catch the leaders. It's a bit of a white knuckle ride for us on the camera cam right now. Red Spinnaker is Red Pumps Red, Zoe Dransfield. And she will take the win from Buckingham Marine Services, Daniel Turner. And then very close behind Daniel Turner is Archie Cropley in the Canberra Airport. Great sailing from all 3 of those boats. And that should see Red Pumps Red move into a slightly better position in the club championship point score. There's the Imagine Signage 13, Bo Dransfield, David Tolk finishing. Now we've got Modern Concept Constructions just narrowly beating IME Barnabas Building, the 16-footers. Little spike in pressure here. Breeze around a little bit more in the south-southeast direction and increased in pressure.
They're all coming down hot, aren't they?
Yeah. Modern Concept Constructions 13 on a bit of a send down a wave there. Narrowly in front of Buckingham Marine 13. Imagine Signage, Nathan Wilmot in front of Michael Kerner in Sutek. Jared Smith, Botany Access.
And the other Red Pumps?
Tyler Dransfield in Red Pumps. Bit of a game there because they were a little bit further back early on in the race.
Oh, I don't think they gained that much long.
Oh, they were a long way back on that first beat.
Definitely won't help their club championship
No.
results. They're already out the back door.
Dan Bromelo, Bartley Construction, Alex Hart in Typhoon. There they are. And then a whole heap of 13s coming in hot.
It's Cadence and Co with the light blue spinnaker.
Along with Red Pumps, Botany Access, Bigfoot and Diveco.
Philip Cook coming in on port. Did you get past him? Yeah.
Yeah.
He was going to anyway.
Phil Cook in the port. Then you got Aristocrat, Buck and Simple, and Geochemical Assessments. That's one that Nathan will definitely want to put in the back of the mind for the rest of his
That could be a
season.
Drop, a discard, perhaps. But sailed a great first race. Take nothing away from them for that.
They won the first one.
No, they're leading. They let around the first top mark and then let it go.
But still, final result, they were up there.
Got the Fluid 13.
So that's, I think, Claire and Tilly today.
Yep.
Welcome back, Claire Hozak.
Who's the orange spinnaker?
There's Texco is the orange spinnaker, Craig.
What's this?
Which this one here is red concrete.
Red concrete.
Oh, Fluid in trouble on the finish.
I think they finished.
Yeah, they're over the line.
Yeah, they're just over the line. Well, that's pretty good. They've all come down with breeze.
Text goes through, and here comes Red Concrete with James, Seb, and George. Good job, boys. I think we've got Ebix.
The red spinnaker is Queens of Buckingham would be my guess, Dole.
Yep.
Great shot of the Ebix there.
Yeah, so Ebix 13, nice shot. Well, I reckon the Queens of Buckingham might have a bit on to make this pin end of the line.
Let's see how they go under pressure. If they have to knock it off.
Yeah, I think they're going to knock it off.
Here we go. This will give us... Oh no,
They've changed their mind.
changed their mind, I think.
No, they're still pulling it around. They need to commit.
Meanwhile, Nozomi is coming in hot.
Good girls, Kite's coming down. Great job. Now they've got a bit of a two-sail reach to get across to the finish.
I think Nozomi's going to pop them.
Meanwhile, Nozomi comes in. On a flyer.
Oh, it's a girl passing another girl, isn't it?
Yep, female helm on Nozomi.
Eliza Kirby.
Yep.
Net.
Eliza's another one I think who's really enjoying her time in the skiffs.
Queens of Buckingham still having a bit of trouble with that spinnaker.
They're nearly there.
They're nearly at the finish too.
Yeah,
Actually,
there they
finish
go.
got it
They're
right.
over.
Well done. At least they finished. Finished both
Well,
races.
With the Queens of Buckingham crossing the finish line, there's only a couple more 13s that are trying to keep up and get down to the finish. So As soon as we're on the overtime, you're happy to sign off on the overtime on behalf of the club, Craig?
Certainly.
Thanks, mate. So thanks everyone for tuning in. And thanks obviously to Craig and for jumping in. Best of luck over at the Kings Cup, mate. We'll be checking the results. And Dole, thanks as always. We'll see you tomorrow, Dolly. But Craig, we'll see you in a couple of weeks' time. And to all our viewers, don't forget to tune in next Saturday. We'll be live streaming heats 4 and 5 potentially of the state titles. Definitely we'll be live streaming something down there. So make sure you tune in. Tell your friends, tell your neighbours, tell your neighbours' dogs to watch.
Yeah, check the times. I think we go live about 1 o'clock.
Yeah, a bit before
so a little bit earlier than normal. So just check the times. But yeah, look forward to another big weekend of racing.
And thanks to all the crew on board here. Definitely testing and trying days. I told you it would be testing and trying, Dole. I didn't say it was going to be for the sailors. It was for us.
All of us.
So, but no, thanks very much, everyone, for tuning in. And this has been a Sail Media production for the Manly 16-Foot Skiff Club.
Good afternoon.